What's up, soccer fans? Mike G back at you to bring you another picks and predictions for Week 2 MLS season coming up this weekend. I'll get right into the games, the odds, my picks, right after the intro. What is up, soccer fans? Who's ready to make some money this weekend? We got a lot of games to cover, 14 to be exact, over March 5th and 6th, Saturday and Sunday. Let's dive right into the action. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Turn on that bell so you don't miss any of our awesome soccer content, whether it's betting picks and tips like this, or our live stream reactions, weekly recaps, FIFA 22 videos, and more. You're going to love the content here on your home for everything CONCACAF, Sons of a Pitch, Soccer Central. All right, guys, first up on Saturday, New England Revolution against FC Dallas. The Revs coming off a 2-2 draw at Portland. FC Dallas coming off a draw with Toronto FC in Dallas. Now, this game is a fairly decent matchup. I think the Revs have kind of dropped a little bit from last year's form. FC Dallas has improved from last year. It is nice to finally get to have watched every single team for at least 45 minutes or so. Something we didn't have going into last week, and last week was a rough week. And again, it's still week 2, guys, so bet with caution. Once you need about a full month to really get a good grasp on everything on these teams, the players, their rotations, how they're playing, the new coaches lineup, all that kind of stuff. So bet with caution. I'm going full on this week. I'm betting everything, but again, just a word of advice. So the Revs and Dallas, the odds are minus 180 for the Revs at Gillette Stadium. The draw comes in at plus 330, and Dallas is plus 500. Big time dogs. I expect New England to get it done at home. They look good in Portland, and I think they'll do a job against Dallas, especially in their home opener at Gillette Stadium. My pick, New England Revolution, minus 180 odds. All right, next up, we move to the Toronto FC home opener against the New York Red Bulls. Some like to call them the New Jersey Red Bulls, but we call them the New York Red Bulls. TFC, they look good. You could tell they were a work in progress, okay? We could see that last game out. Red Bulls looked very good against San Jose, but do you put too much weight into that result? Yes, it was a road result. Yes, they looked okay in the second half. They looked very good in the second half. They looked okay in the first half against San Jose, but San Jose is a struggling team with a coach who does not want to be there. So this is a tough one to pick. Toronto FC, I think they'll improve on what they did last week against Dallas, but they're going up against stiffer competition, in my opinion, in the Red Bulls. The odds come in at plus 155 for TFC. The draw is plus 235, and the Red Bulls come in at plus 185. Very even matchup here by the odds makers. And my pick in this one, I'm going with the draw. I think the Red Bulls will do enough to secure a point at BMO Field. I'm taking the draw at plus 235 odds. All right, next up, Sporting Kansas City against the Houston Dynamo. SKC at home, their home opener, minus 145 odds. The draw at plus 295, and Houston comes in at plus 400. Houston was a 0-0 draw with RSL. It was a trash game to watch. SKC, they did not show up in Atlanta and got blown out 3-1, although the game wasn't that much of a blowout. It was a fairly close game, but the scoreline was definitely not in Sporting Kansas City's favor. Now, I expect Sporting Kansas City to come out strong at home. This team always plays much better at home than on the road. My pick in this one, Sporting Kansas City at minus 145 to get the victory. All right, next up, we go to Montreal and Philadelphia Union. CF Montreal at home at the Olympic Stadium. Philadelphia Union struggled in their first game at home last week against the Minnesota United Loons. So this is a tough one to pick because you don't know exactly which Montreal team is going to show up. Is the CCL side going to show up that did really, really well against Santos Laguna? Or are you going to see the side that got blown out by Orlando 2-0 down in Florida? The odds for this matchup come in Montreal at plus 140, the draw at plus 235. Philadelphia comes in at plus 205. 105. So fairly even from an odds perspective. But I've got Montreal in this one. I think Montreal gets it done at home. I think they bounce back after that rough road loss at Orlando. And Philly did not impress me at all against Minnesota United. So I am going with the Montreal Impact at plus 140. Now, before we move on to the next game, guys, check out BetUS. The link is in the description as well as in the comments. We are running a promotion with BetUS. We've only got about a month left on our contract with BetUS, so get in now. The odds are looking really good. 125% sign-up bonus. 125%, guys, that's nuts. Up to $2,500 when you click our link and use our promo code SOPSoccer. I love BetUS. The odds are by far the best in the business. Check it out. See for yourselves. Get in. It is an affiliate program, so I do make a small portion when you make that first deposit. But hey, that helps continue the growth of the sport of soccer here in North America. So get on that, guys. Appreciate it. And everybody who's joined us with BetUS, thank you. And I know we haven't let you down. All right, back to the recording here of our teams, San Jose and Columbus. In the next matchup, San Jose Earthquakes at home, plus 165 odds. The draw at plus 240, and the Crew come in at plus 165 as well. The Quakes are in a ton of trouble right now. Matias Almeida does not want to be there. It's clear that team is just a mess at the moment. Columbus looked really good in their home opener against Vancouver, drilling them 4-0. How can you go any other way than Columbus right now in this matchup? I got to go with Columbus. They're my pick to get it done. I don't expect to see another 4-0 blowout, but I do expect them to get the win fairly easily. So that's my pick in that one. Next up, we've got the Chicago Fire's home opener against Orlando City. The Lions, a 2-0 victory over Montreal. Chicago, 0-0 draw with Miami. Really shouldn't have been a 0-0 draw because that outside of the finishing, man, there was posts everywhere. A great game to watch. So this one should be fun. Chicago comes in at minus 105. The draw at plus 265. And Orlando City at plus 285. This is an interesting one. The Fire, they haven't quite turned the corner yet. They got a lot of new pieces. Orlando looked really good in their matchup against Montreal last week. So I really like Orlando in this game. I'm going with them. I'm taking the underdog on the road, Orlando City, to get the victory over the Chicago Fire. Orlando is my pick. All right, the next one, Cincinnati against DC United. Oh, Cincinnati. God, Cincinnati. You might as well just call them the FC Cincinnati Wooden Spoons. These guys just looked like an abysmal train wreck in their game against Houston last week. A 5-0 loss at Houston. DC United took out Charlotte FC, the expansion team, 3-0 and an easy win there. I expect DC to go on the road here and beat up on Cincinnati. Although the captain for Cincinnati did put a tweet out saying, we're sorry. This, was a horrible performance. We're going to get better. But that's the same type of stuff I heard from Toronto FC last year. And you know what? It never quite turned around. And with the talent level that Cincinnati has, I don't see it turning around anytime soon. So my pick is DC United. They're at plus 120 odds. FC Cincinnati at home, big dogs, plus 235, and the draws at plus 250. I like DC United to beat Cincinnati and continue their struggles. All right, next up, Colorado Rapids hosting Atlanta United. Colorado Rapids looked bad against LAFC. Atlanta looked good against Sporting Kansas City. Although the roles were reversed. Colorado was on the road. Atlanta was at home. Now, Atlanta has to travel to Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado. The odds in this one, plus 110 for Colorado, a draw at plus 265, and Atlanta comes in at plus 240. I always get caution around that plus 200 to 240, 250 mark in MLS because usually those don't come through. But I can't see Colorado beating a team with the talent that Atlanta has coming off a strong victory when Colorado has looked really bad in CCL, got knocked out by Comunicaciones, as well as looked really bad against LAFC. So I'm sorry to the Rapids, but I got to go with Atlanta in this one. My pick, Atlanta United, plus 240. Great opportunity to make some money here in this one. All right, next we have Minnesota and Nashville SC. Minnesota coming off that 1-1 draw at Philly. Nashville, what a win over Seattle. 1-0 in Lumen Field at Seattle. Of course, Nashville's on the road. They're going through a road patch because they're waiting for their new stadium to open up on May 1st. Man, Nashville looks really good. I predicted them to go to MLS Cup final this year, and I think they look really good against the Seattle Sounders. The odds in this one come in at Minnesota United plus 135, the draw at plus 220, and Nashville at plus 225. My heart wants to go with Nashville here. My gut says Minnesota at home is going to be tough. They looked decent against Philadelphia, pulling off that road draw 1-1 at Philly, which a lot of people expect Philly to fight for one of the top spots in the Eastern Conference this year. I'm not one of them. But Minnesota United at home against Nashville, I want to go Nashville, but my brain is telling me to go with the draw. Nashville, they always seem to grind out a result. I expect them to pull off a draw in this matchup. I like the draw at plus 220 here, Minnesota and Nashville. All right, before we get into our next matchups here, we got a few more matchups to go, guys. Check out our memberships. All right, we've got 3 membership levels. Our first team starter membership, only $1.99 a month. We've picked up a bunch of new members lately, so thank you to everybody who has joined. You're going to get your loyalty badges, the custom emojis, and your name in the scroll that you see below me. The emojis, we're switching it up this year. We've got all those emojis you're seeing there, plus we're going to have the home team and away team that we're doing the live stream reactions for. So when you're hanging out in the chat with us, you can use those teams' emojis when we're live. Now, we have our designated player level as well. All of those perks, plus your name in the description and 20% off of Sons of a Pitch soccer merch for only $4.99 a month. And then our all-star betting level. Join today, guys. It's only $9.99 a month. You're getting all those perks I talked about, plus access to my 1 weekly exclusive video giving you my over-under picks, my prop bet picks as in a player to score, and my 3-team parlay for the week. Every single week for MLS. We also do the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers in there as well. It's worth it, guys. Just ask any of the All-Star members. We make a ton of money here with those prop bet picks. So check it out, guys. Join today. If you're on an iPhone, you'll have to go onto a PC, log in, sign up through there, and then you will get all of the perks onto your phone once you log back into your phone. If you're on an Android, just click that blue little join button, and you're all set. All right, so next up, we have the RSL versus Seattle matchup. Real Salt Lake at home. They come in as plus 140 dogs. The draw is plus 230, and Seattle at a plus 210. RSL and Seattle. RSL knocked out Seattle at Lumen Field in the playoffs last season in a penalty kick shootout. Seattle is coming off a loss against Nashville at home. Seattle did, though, blow out Motagua in that game against in the CCL game last week. Now, Seattle, I can't see them losing 2 in a row here. I can't see it. So for me, it's between a draw and picking the Sounders. The draw's at plus 230. The Sounders are plus 210. I'm going with the Sounders to get the job done. Seattle's too good of a team to go back-to-back losses here in MLS play. So I'm going with the Seattle Sounders as my pick. Next up, we have Vancouver Whitecaps against New York City FC. Vancouver Whitecaps, man, they got blown out bad by Columbus. New York City didn't look their best, but they were still in the game with LA Galaxy on the road. New York City, though, they're too good of a team. Vancouver, I'm not impressed with what I saw. So for me, I really like New York City in this matchup. I don't have odds here on, there they are. I've got Vancouver at plus 290, the draw at plus 265, and New York City on the road is minus 105. I like New York City to get the job done. They're going to win this game against Vancouver. Vancouver's a different team at home, but New York City, they have to get the victory here. They can't start the season out 0-2 or even just 1 point out of those 2 games on the West Coast. I'm going New York City as my pick. All right, next up, we've got Charlotte FC against the LA Galaxy. This is the game that we will be live for, doing our live stream reaction on the weekend. It's going to be fun. but it's going to be a beatdown for the LA Galaxy. Charlotte, even their coach says they're screwed. I think they have some potential down the road. It's going to take them some time, but there's no odds out on this one. For some reason, the sportsbook, I've checked a bunch of them. They don't have odds for this game, probably because it's going to be such a lopsided odds for LA Galaxy, but you don't need odds. Whatever they are, it's LA Galaxy to win. I don't see a draw here. I don't see a Charlotte win. It's going to be the LA Galaxy. So that's my pick on that one. All right, moving along. We've got 2 games left, the Sunday games. Austin FC against Inter Miami. Expansion side from a couple years ago against another expansion side from a couple years ago. Miami, they looked okay against Chicago. Austin blew out Cincinnati. Is Austin that good or is Cincinnati just that bad? I think it's a combination of both. Miami, I think they should have been able to do a little bit better and get a victory at home against the Fire last week. So I'm a little bit hesitant here. I got to ride with the hot hand with Austin FC, especially Leonardo Campagna had a really hard time finishing. The youngster that came over from Wolves, he missed, probably 4 or 5 chances that he should have bagged home, at least 1 or 2 of them. So for me, I like Austin in this one. They're minus 165, the draw at plus 295, and Miami at plus 475. I'm going with the favorites. Austin at home, minus 165. All right, the last game of the week, LAFC against Portland Timbers. LAFC at home, they look good. Carlos Vela is back, ladies and gentlemen. Had the hat trick last week. Portland Timbers with the 2-2 draw against the New England Revolution at Providence Park. Man, these odds, minus 140 for LAFC. The draw at plus 200 and the Timbers, excuse me. Oh my God, I just called the Timbers the Sounders. Rocky's he's gonna find me and reach through the screen and smack me upside the head or something. Portland, plus 360 odds. I can't see Portland getting it done here. LA looked too good. Their pieces look great. Crepeau didn't have much work to do, but he looked solid as well. Kellen Acosta looked good. LAFC looks like a very good team this season. I got to go with LAFC to get the victory at home, minus 140 odds. So there you have it, guys. There's my picks for all 14 MLS matchups for this week. Now, I'll put up my spreadsheet here at the end so that you guys can screenshot that, take it to the book, and let's go make some money, guys. We're going to do better than last week. I guarantee it. We have to. It was a horrible week last week, but that's what happens in opening week, right? So here we go. Let's go get that money. Good luck with your bets. We'll see you guys on the weekend. Have a good one, everybody.